Today I'm going to show you how to build a pad sound like this out of that. Let's go!
Mr. DK.
Welcome to Mr. DK TV. Today I'm going to show you how to build up a pad sound out of a field recording. This video is brought to you by my sound company.
Sounds premium.
Check it out. Before we start, I want to let you know that you can have this pad sound for free if you join my MPC community on School called MPC Flow State. See you over there. Here we are in the MPC Live 3. In Sample Edit we can see our sample right here. It is called Waterfall and Ocean, and we just give it a listen. You should have your headphones on, because now there is also an interesting part right there. Yeah, you can hear this wind noise exactly here. I was using a windshield, but you can never get rid of all of the noise, of course. That's why I'm going to Menu, to Pad Mixer, hitting the right pad, Pad 1, A1. I'm going to Inserts and I'm adding an EQ. These are the EQs that I have, and I'm going for the visual EQ, which is a 4-band filter or a 4-band EQ. I hit Select, hit Edit, and now I will go for a high-pass filter, and I will go to the value of around 50 Hertz, because around this area we have these rumbling noises going on. We give it a listen again. Switching it off, and immediately you have this wind noise going on again. Switching it on. Yeah, much nicer like this. We have a nice reduction going on now just by adding a high-pass filter at, in this case, 74 Hertz. And now I will go for a new frequency. I will just go for a peak frequency. I boost it up a little bit, making this Q factor broader, so reducing the Q factor a little bit to open it up a little bit. And 10 decibels is way too high, but just to show you what I want to do. Yeah, now I will switch it off. Switch it on. Off. On. There's a slight difference. I like it more like this, because now we have some frequencies that we are boosting up, and just a little bit to open it up, to make the sound a little bit wider. We leave it like this, and what I will do now is I just create a new sample out of this existing one, which I call noise reduction. For this I'm going to track edit using the flatten pad option in the right corner right here, and I'm calling this sample just NR for noise reduction, do it. leaving no audio tail and hit do it again. Now it is being exported and is also replacing my sample because it is just flattened. And I can see it right here. Now it is waterfall in ocean, NR for noise reduction, which is very good. Now we have the new sample directly there with the noise reduction going on. And what I will do now is a quite interesting thing, because now I'm going back to my pad mixer. Now we don't have the EQ going on anymore because it is bounced out to our new sample. But I need this EQ again, because what I will do now is a different story. I'm using the visual EQ again. We have 4 bands. I would need more bands, because what I will do now is I will dial in a peak, not a shelf or anything. I just want to boost some frequencies here, and I'm going for a C3 note. A C3 note is located at 130.81 if I look it up on a table, and this is around 131 if we are rounding this number. I'm just boosting the decibels. I'm going for another Q factor, which is at the max at 18. And I am going for this frequency that I have told you, 131. 131. So hitting shift to have smaller increments, 131. And I'm boosting it up by 30 dB. Give it a listen. I turn it off. Turn it on again. I'm reducing it to 24 decibels. 26. It's just a feeling, you know. And now I'm adding a second overtone. So what I'm going to add are the so-called overtones, or also the harmonic series that I'm adding to it. So what I'm adding is just the same frequency value. So 130.81 I'm adding to this already existing 131 Hertz. So we are ending up around 262. 262. I'm going to 262. 261. 62. I'm going for 261 because the increments that I can do here are not that accurate. So it's not that important. We just have to be around this value, and this would be a C4 note. So 1 octave up, it would be this value, and the C4 note right now is the overtone. I also set this value to 18 max, and I'm going for a little bit lower value than this max value from 26 and something, just to make it not that obvious like the first root tone, the C3. Give it a listen. I switch it up, I switch it off, switch it on. And as you can see, it's adding up. The overtones are just added. We get a real tone out of the field recordings, which is very interesting. Next peak, set it up to 18. Again, max value. I'm going for another value which is below the 18.6, maybe around 15. And we go closer to this value, because we have to add further 130 Hertz to it, to this value, and then we are ending at the value at around 392. 392. 393. We leave it like this, or 392 is not getting dialed in, that's the problem, so we leave it like this. And now we do the same game with this value. So here also we go for, let's say 12 dB, put it up to 18, this should be a peak, like this, as you can see. And now we are going for the next value, which is 523 and something. 523 and something, hitting shift. Yeah, like this. It's just a rough thing, not exactly, because this is not accurate enough, but that's no problem. We have now 4 bands added. Let's give it a listen again. Yeah, very interesting to be honest. It will turn out very well, and we need a further EQ, so same EQ is going into it, the visual EQ with 4 bands again. I hit edit, put this one to a peak. I will put in more overtones. Now as you can see, same logic, always added the first frequency on top, and now I have 8 bands going on, 4 bands here and 4 bands there, so you can see the logic. Listen to it together. I'm switching off the second EQ. Yeah, very interesting. It's a very interesting drone sound. And now I will save this whole thing as an effect chain. So I'm going to insert, hitting save right here, and I'm naming this tone generator. Very simple. Hit do it. Now I have an FX effect rec if you want. Hitting save. Do it like this. Now I will flatten down the pad again, hit track edit, going to global, and hit this arrow again, and this I will call C3 root. Hit do it, leaving no audio tail at all, and then I hit do it again. And here we go. The sample is replaced. When we go to samples, C3 root, there it is. And now we can play around with the EQ again. I go to inserts. I open up the thing that I have just saved, the effect rack, hitting load. And what will happen now is I'm putting more of the effect inside, so the tone will come up more clearly now. So we give it a listen again. I turn down the volume a little bit. Yeah. Now you can see it is clipping. This is nothing that I want. So I have to reduce the output here a little bit. -5, -5, like this. And also I check the level on the outputs. Sorry, the level on this pad, of course. Turning it down. Turning it down. Yeah, just like that, because now I will export it again. So I go to Edit again, and I just go to Global, and I just flatten down the pad again. And I call this one C3 root new. Do it. Because we just need a small portion of it, because the sample is quite long. I go into my sample edit, and there you can see the distortion that is going on. And I just go for the parts where it is not distorted, maybe like this. Yeah, like this. I hit process, discard, like this. I turn on loop. This is grayed out because I have to move this around. So then I can make a loop out of it. Maybe like this. Hit loop lock. Then I'm adding a crossfade. Let's say 3000. And now we give it a listen. Yeah, very smoothly. So this is very good. We have the C3 note now, and now we can build a pad out of it, a pad sound. This is already a pad sound, but we make a key group out of it right now. This is what we are going to do. And yeah, for now I just save my project so that I don't lose anything. And here we are. Now we have a drum program. We have to go for a Keygroup program, of course. I just need to go to track edit, going to my samples, and there I'm just choosing my sample, the C3 root new. And here we go. This has to be turned to the right. Slice all, just give it a try. It's a C3 note. Let's see if it's dialed in already. Yes, it is turned to sample, but we can also put it to C3, which is also good. You can also leave it on sample, so which is saved in the sample. For this you have to make sure that in the sample edit this is on C3. Yeah, everything is good to go. So I just listen to it, going to track edit, going to my samples again, hitting D, too high. Very nice. We have this loop going on. And what we can do also, I can check the loop again in the sample edit because I can hear a little click sound. Maybe we can push up or pull up the factor here, the X fade factor, like this. Yeah, this is smoothly. I hit loop lock, hit undo, like this. Now it is on the correct spot again. Like this, I want to leave it like this. And I'm going to my track edit again because I was hearing a click because I was not switching on loop lock, I think. That was the main problem we had right there. So I will give it a listen again. Let's see. Go to C. Yeah, very nice. That's very nice, that's very nice. And now we can, edit it because the amp envelope has to be tuned a little bit. So we can go to legacy mode as well. Amp envelope like this. And my overview is quite good here. Turn up the volume a little bit. Attack is quite good. Release, adding it like this maybe. Increasing it. Yeah, it's good like this. What we can also do is putting the sustain a little bit lower, making the decay like this, so that we have some volume changes in the sound. The attack sound is way too long, of course. Way too long. Very nice. Just imagine when we play chords, going to here, going to progressions. Yeah, let's put this one to C minor, C harmonic minor, progressions, and let's see. That's very nice. One octave up. Volume is too loud. And just imagine, there are just these sounds that I have created, no effects added already. So just imagine this, when we work further on this pad, it will be very huge, I'm very sure. It's very nice sounding. A few hours later. And if you want to have this great pad sound for free, then just join my MPC community called MPC Flow State on School. See you over there. I'm out of here. Greetings from the east of Africa. Blessings.